Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Wade from Unparalleled Universe. I just wanted to let you know about the Kickstarter that I've launched for the first ever 1/12 scale Odious figure. Odious is a character that I've created, and I'm trying to make a figure of him via Kickstarter, so be sure to check that out. Odious 1/12 scale action figure on Kickstarter. Thank you very much. Peace.
Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Build-A-Figure video. We've taken a look at the entire Marvel's wave. We started off with Captain Marvel, then Photon, then Ms. Marvel, then Marvel Boy, then Karnak, then Commander Rogers, and then the Heroes Return Iron Man. Here we have the totally awesome Hulk, the Amadeus Cho version of Hulk. It is not Bruce Banner. I will do a comparison with a couple of different Hulks that share the same torso and maybe arms. And then a comparison with a Bruce Banner Hulk, and then also with a couple of members of the Champions. We're almost there. Just need really like two figures that would be the core members, and maybe a newer Ironheart figure. So we will see that there. But let's go ahead and build out Amadeus Cho. He does come with an extra pair of hands, so he's got fists to go along with it. Let's go ahead and start with the legs. So we got the torso piece. We have the right leg. We're just gonna peg that in, and it seems like it would go in nice and easy, but it definitely doesn't. You gotta give it a little bit more force, and you can see there he is going to be a big boy. So we get the left leg, and the way you know that, it actually has an L on there for left, but you should also be able to tell from the foot. Put that in there. It doesn't pop on or anything. You just kind of have to make sure to put it on there, apply a little bit of force, and ensure that it is on there. But you could see Hulk is going to be a bit of a tall one. So here we have the right arm. So we're going to stick that into the shoulder socket there. We'll stick it into the shoulder socket there. You don't hear it click, but you feel it click in there. Let's get the left arm. Same thing. You don't feel it, but you could. You don't hear it, but you can feel it. And there we have a pretty big looking Hulk figure, bright green, which is kind of nice. And now we're going to finish it off with the Amadeus Cho Hulk head sculpt, and that will be how we piece Hulk together. And bam! Here we have it, the Amadeus Cho Hulk Build-A-Figure, the totally awesome Hulk. And I see it looks pretty cool, it looks pretty good, except I don't really see the likeness to Amadeus Cho in here. He's Korean. This Hulk does not look like he's Korean at all. I think it could pass as a Bruce Banner Hulk, except for the hair, which clearly makes it the Amadeus Cho version. Yeah, I don't know. He just seems like a much older person, whereas Amadeus Cho was on the younger side. But the figure itself looks pretty good. No complaints. I really like the bright green of it. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the head sculpt so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. We'll take a closer look at the details of his suit, which looks pretty good. There's nice texture detail in the darker portions of the shorts there. And then really not else going on. It's just all green. There's no shading or anything like that in this figure, but it does look really good. Okay, so here we have the Hulk figure. Here we have a close-up look. And the Hulk, the totally awesome Hulk head sculpt looks pretty good, but again, I guess it depends. You look up images of the totally awesome Hulk, Amadeus Cho Hulk. In some instances, you can't really tell that it's Amadeus Cho when in Hulk form. But a lot of the artwork that you see of him, you can clearly tell that it's him. You can distinctly see his Asian features. This version, we just don't see it. And I guess more so in the comics now, he actually goes by Brawn, where he's not fully hulked out. He's a little bit smaller. Isn't as powerful as the Hulk, but when angry enough, he can turn full on into Hulk form. Here on his left arm, he does have this band. This band is what allows him to transform into the Hulk, or I assume transform in and out of Hulk form. So that's why it's there on the left arm only. The head sculpt itself does look really good. Again, it's just I don't necessarily see the Amadeus Cho likeness in there, but the hair is most definitely clearly Amadeus Cho. And it looks pretty good. We get some kind of, in the digital print, right there, some wrinkles in his forehead and everything, but it looks pretty good. The rest of the figure, again, it just is green. There's no shading, no shadow effects, no additional paint whatsoever in the skin. You know, as you can see there, we do get pinless legs because these legs are actually new. They're not reused from any previous Hulk figure. The feet are reused. The arms are reused. That's why we do have pins on the arms. The torso is reused from the MCU Build-A-Figure Endgame Hulk. The Outback Hulk from the Gamerverse Avengers game used that same body. And of course, because the legs and the hip piece, those are all new to kind of represent his costume here. And it looks like I did not put this leg on all the way. Let me force that down a little bit. And there we go there. Some nice textured detail in the dark purple portions of the shorts. And that looks pretty good. But now let's go ahead and see how Amadeus Cho Hulk moves around. Okay, so Amadeus Cho Hulk, his head is on a dumbbell joint, but so he can look up that much. He can look down that much, but you could see there is a little bit of gappage back there, unfortunately. So when looking straight on, you're not going to notice, of course. Full rotation in the head, you can get some pivot going on in that neck, which is good. The shoulder can go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Let's see, you got to work. There we get that much bend there at the elbow, so a little bit more than 90 degrees. Wrists swivel and they do hinge. Standard horizontal hinge on the fists and the two open hands. We have a diaphragm cut on this version of Hulk, so he can tilt to his left that much, which is really, really good. He could tilt to his right that much, which is really, really good. He can go back that far, which is pretty good, but you can see a little bit of gap in there, so keep that in mind. And then coming forward, so this is straight up. And there is forward. So not a huge amount, but it's decent. It's better than most female figures, but still not quite enough. The crazy thing with this diaphragm joint, we still have a waist swivel, which isn't necessary, but you know, I think that's just kind of the nature of the Build-A-Figure portion. But you get a twist at that diaphragm as well to go with the waist cut if that's what you wanted to do. Legs go out that far apart, which is good. He can kick forward that far. The leg doesn't really go back. You got an upper thigh cut in there where the leg obviously connects. Double jointed knee that is pinless, as you can see there. Kind of an ugly joint there, but they're thick legs. Not sure if there was a way to avoid that, but that much bend there. No calf swivel or anything like that. Foot hinges down that far. You get some hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And again, the feet are reused. The legs are in fact new. So now let's go ahead and see this Hulk compared to two other Hulks that use the same body. Okay, so here we have three different Hulks. So the Outback Hulk from the Avengers game, the Gamerverse figure. We have the Build-A-Figure for Avengers Endgame, which could kind of work for Thor Ragnarok, except the head sculpt wouldn't exactly quite be the same. The pants, I guess, are just kind of mainly the same. That Hulk would have been a little bit bigger. So this is kind of your smart Hulk, Build-A-Figure, if you will. And then the totally awesome Amadeus Cho Hulk. So there are the Hulk figures. Again, they use the same arms, hands, and torsos, and feet. But Amadeus Cho gets brand new legs, so waist down, feet up. Those are going to be new. And then, of course, the added band there, and then different head sculpt, naturally. Okay, so we have a bunch of different Hulk figures, but I just wanted to show you guys Amadeus Cho with a green Hulk. This was the 2-pack version that came with the first appearance Wolverine. So here we have the two. You can see Amadeus Cho is just a really, really bright green compared to the other one. And then it makes a big difference when you kind of get some shading and shadow effect paint that's added to a figure, whereas Amadeus Cho, unfortunately, doesn't get that. I don't think it's necessarily a problem because he is brighter green. But if they added in some darker shading, it'll bring out the details a little bit more and, of course, would look better. I don't know that it's absolutely 100% necessary. More paint in most cases makes things look better. But, you know, unfortunately, we did not get that this go around. Okay, and here are the champions. Most notably, we are missing two very vital members, and that's going to be Viv, I guess the daughter of Vision, and a younger Cyclops, Scott Summers. So maybe one day we will get those two figures. I hope we will. If the rumor of the Disney Plus series Vision Quest is to be believed, it's supposed to have Vision's family in there. Maybe then we will get some figures to kind of coincide, whether it's going to be MCU or if it's going to be comic based. I would think at this point, if they went out of their way to do the totally awesome Hulk, not Brawn, but Hulk, right? Before he took on kind of the Brawn mantle or name, he was Hulk, and then part of the champions, the team, it was, you know, Hulk. So we have for the most part, the team. This was stretched out from years. In fact, some of these figures, I think, predated the Champions team themselves, like that Miles Morales figure. But we're close to having a complete team, a couple of figures, and then maybe a new Ironheart figure. I know she was a newer member, wasn't really an original member. That would be cool, but you guys let me know down in the comments below. Would you like to see a completed Champions team? I think the tricky thing is we get a bunch of Cyclops figures, but do we really want a younger version? Sure, why not when it completes a team? I think that would be pretty cool. But, you know, let me know your thoughts. Okay, so here is the entire Marvel's totally awesome Hulk Build-A-Figure wave. And here's where I will do the ranking. This one is a little tricky because, you know what, in all honesty, in all truth, it's probably not that great of a wave. We've had 3 MCU figures in there that I am pleased with. I'm not overly over the moon excited for them or anything, except for the Photon figure, because she is, again, fantastic figure, easily the best figure in the wave, Photon. So if I were to rank the wave, I would probably go Photon, Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, Commander Rogers, Karnak, Iron Man, Marvel Boy. Photon, Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, Commander Rogers. Yeah, that's probably how I would stick it with it. Okay, let's go. So Photon, Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, Commander Rogers, Karnak, Iron Man, Marvel Boy. The reason Marvel Boy would be at the bottom when it's still a pretty good figure is because I'm just not familiar with the character. Karnak over Iron Man because he's an Inhuman. We haven't seen it before. Iron Man, we just have so many Iron Man figures, so that drops him down on the list. It's probably, you know, a better action figure itself than Karnak, because Karnak on the Pizza Spider-Man body, not the best body at this point. It's limited with the butterfly joints, and the legs don't come out far apart, and there's no calf swivel or anything like that. But it's a sturdy figure at least, whereas a lot of them have been gummy in the past, so that worked out well. But it's going to be more so for kind of character selection and things like that, or dropping it down. But by far, the absolute highlight in this wave is this Photon figure. There is no arguments about it. This is the absolute best figure in this wave, and one that I think will sell pretty well. But it also has working against itself that it is an MCU figure, whereas it seems to be that the popularity of MCU figures has seemed to drop. But, you know, I don't know the official sales data, but from what I see in stores and things like that, comic figures seem to be selling better nowadays, whereas MCU figures used to sell better in the past. I don't know if that's still the case. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that. You know, logically, not your feelings, because I know a lot of people hate MCU figures. I know a few people hate comic figures. There is a place in between to have them both. You know, there's nothing wrong with having both. There's nothing wrong with wanting only one of them and not wanting the other, but there's no reason to hate them or whatever. You just say you don't prefer them, you don't like them. That's cool, but what reason is there to really hate? But anyway, going off on a tangent there. You guys let me know down in the comments below, how would you rate this wave, and what do you think of this totally awesome Hulk Build-A-Figure? I think it is pretty cool. Again, it gets close to completing the Champions team, and it gives us another Hulk version for your comic displays. I actually really like the size of this Hulk. Now, I know when we look at the Hulk, we want like a big beast of a monster, super wide and everything like that. And yeah, of course. But I do like the size of this Hulk because it allows for a little bit more posability and things to move around without the legs being so large and the arms just being unbelievably wide that you can hardly bend them at the elbow, things like that. So it just makes it a little bit more fun. Adds a fun factor, if you will. But you guys let me know your ranking in the comments below. What do you think of this Hulk figure? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button to become a channel member and be a part of the MCU Collective. And show appreciation for the channel and support. Thank you so much. I do really appreciate that. And as always, thank you for watching.